Hey and welcome back to another 2-Minute Tuesday. In today's video, we're going to be talking about soloing on one string, which is going to help massively with a bunch of things, including phrasing, which is the number one thing that we're trying to target here. But it will also help with your visualization across the neck if you're trying to blend box shapes of scales. For example, the 5 pentatonic shapes. If you're not very good at blending them, then this is going to help you a lot with that. Or perhaps you're not so familiar with your box shapes or any scale across the entire neck, but you're looking to break out of a single box shape, then again, this is going to help you a lot. As you know, there's only going to be 2 minutes on the clock, so I'm going to do my best to condense this as much as possible, although there's a lot of information and a lot of potential with this, so I encourage you to spend a lot of time experimenting and expanding on what I'm talking about after the video. So with that said, you know the drill. Let's put 2 minutes on the clock and crack on. Okay, so for the sake of simplicity, we're going to take the A minor pentatonic scale. Of course, you could apply the same concept to any scale that you're familiar with, but I like to choose the pentatonic since everybody knows that scale. Now we're going to isolate just one single string and translate the pentatonic scale to that string. So we're going to choose the G string because that's one of my favorite strings to phrase on. Now the lowest note possible that we can play on the G is the G, and we can check that by playing the box shape here on the A. There it is, the 5th fret on the D string is the same as the open. And then using your fretboard awareness, you hopefully should be able to follow that whole string up, finding each pentatonic note. But if you're not sure how to do that, you can just take, again, the box shape and try and guess the notes in relation to the box shape that you're familiar with. So for example, this next note, there it is, you can kind of guess where it is if you need to. And then follow. And then keep going until you run out of frets. So altogether we would have. There we go. Now those are of course your pentatonic notes. You can fill that out with your Aeolian mode if you'd like. But I encourage you to keep it as simple as you can for now, because we're going to be focusing more so on the actual phrasing involved rather than the actual notes that you're playing. So over a drone note or a backing track that has that A minor just looping over and over, I want you to experiment with some phrasing using those notes. So this is going to force you to use a lot of bends, slides, and other related techniques across the fretboard. And it's also going to teach you to sort of visualize the notes a bit more relative to their positions. So let's give that a try. So as you can see, it really forces you to move around the fretboard rather than stay in the same position. And you've really got to be creative, because just going up and down the string is really not good enough. So you're forced to bend, you're forced to slide and jump intervallically across the neck, which is a really awesome thing to try. And once you get comfortable with the pentatonic notes and you feel like you've ran out of ideas with that, you can add some notes from the Aeolian mode. For example, this one here, which gives you a few more options, and you can also add some chromatic notes as well. So you may have noticed at the beginning of that little demonstration there, I did this bend and then descended. So this note isn't even in the key of A, but it works as a really nice passing note. Now this was of course just one single string, but I want you to try it with all 6 strings. Perhaps you could try the same thing by isolating only the B string and then the E string and then all of the other strings. And then you could further expand on that by limiting your solos to perhaps not just 1 string but 2 strings and then 3 strings, and kind of building on that. Imagine the potential you can achieve if you create an amazing solo on just 1 string, and then you translate that to 2 strings, theoretically, it should be twice as cool. So as I said, this is a great thing that you can try, especially if you're not comfortable playing across the neck and you're one of those kinds of players who just plays up and down. Not that there's anything wrong with that at all, but this will just hopefully encourage you to break out of those boxes and think more strategically about the notes that you play and more strategically about the phrasing that you involve into your lead lines. As usual, if you come up with any really creative and wonderful ideas that you'd like to share, be sure to post a video on Instagram and tag me at Darryl Syms. I'd love to see what you guys create. I'll be sure to like it, comment, all that cool stuff. And that just about concludes everything that I want to share with you today. Best of luck, enjoy, and I will see you in the next video.